time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made a light, and it's your yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. Eternal, I'm alive again. Our story never has to end. What I'm saying might be reckless, but I meant it when I said it. And I know I might regret it, but it's time I give the lesson. Hope your feelings, they don't lessen. No, when I'm not where you are, it's this feeling in my heart, and it aches when we're apart. I can't stand to see the stars, knowing I'm not where you are, while you're playing in the dark. I am tired, so won't you come to bed soon? Wait in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. Watched by the white moon, stuck in my bedroom, counting the hours till you get to me. Drowning out in all the echoes. Where's the plans back on the window? Knowing full well I should let go. Just in case you didn't know, these emotions that might show. No, when I'm not where you are, it's this feeling in my heart, and it aches when we're apart. I can't stand to see the stars, knowing I'm not where you are, while you're playing in the dark. I am tired, so won't you come to bed soon? Wait in my
Evening everyone, welcome to another edition of Mini RPG of the Week. My name is Nulake. We are joined for the first time ever, not by an Englishman. I mean, it's not the first time we've had an Englishman. It's the first time we've had Twiggy, and like really what I'm saying here is that this intro is going flawlessly.
Swimmingly, honestly. It's the first time I've been introduced as not by an Englishman, so that's great.
Well,
That's a new one for me.
The highest compliment I can give
consider
anyone.
myself British, not English, so that's, that's fine. Actually, I consider myself a European. There you go.
I mean, controversial, I think, at this point. And so what we're going to do is hard right turn, just hard right turn out of this potential minefield and say welcome to the Mini RPG of the Week stream. We are looking forward to tonight's stream. You've joined Twiggy at a very good time as we get the final Australix map in his 4-map series, the fall ones. They did begin in fall. We are now pretty clearly out of the year 2023 and into the year 2023, very deep into the winter, but we're still on the fall maps, and we've been promised that this one is going to be real spicy.
Ooh. Yeah, sent some notes over, and I'm looking forward to this one because we got a whole paragraph on how to do one of the tricks in this one, which is it's great that there's a safe route. Let's say that much, because I'm looking through the. I don't think I could do it if I read this over 10 times and got into the server for an hour. So I'm gonna be really looking forward to how everybody gets through on this one.
Yeah, and you do need to highlight as well, one paragraph on one of several tricks on this map, and then the description for the rest of the tricks is, I don't know, just drive them and get good, I guess, basically. So we'll see how the players goes. The nice thing about Mini RPG of the Week is, of course, we do get a lot of very good players, and they are going to get good at these maps very, very quickly. This is, though, a longer map than usual, with the kind of expected time by the author being over the 1 minute mark, up even around 1 minute 10 seconds, which means something you pointed out before we got on stream here: limited time to practice full run-throughs versus how many attempts you might get at, say, a 40-second map.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing, especially, this is something you learn when you first start doing Couple of Days. You don't actually... 15 minutes seems like a lot of time to learn a map, but then you get in and you start going through and you mess it up once and you mess it up twice, and suddenly you have 5 minutes left and you still don't know the end part of the map. And it's suddenly like, the longer the map is, it really exponentially gets more difficult to really learn the map. Not just, get through it and get through it with a decent time. Get through it with a time that can actually compete over the course of a whole tournament. That's pretty difficult.
I'll tell you what, though, Twiggy, I would simply not make any mistakes. I think that would be optimal, probably. It's going to... Well, look, we'll see how these players go. It's going to be very difficult not to make a mistake. Mini RPG, significantly harder for that than a normal Cup of the Day track. Yeah. But it's going to be a lot of fun. These players are going to get good at it. We are on Fall Night this evening by Australix. We'll have this 15-minute warm-up for players to learn it. I'm seeing here as we load onto the map, there's going to be the night theme. We are going to be racing through the darkness on this one. And it's just going to add a little bit more sinister air to this track as our players try to figure out exactly where they're going.
Yeah, it's moody. I guess it fits the full vibe, I guess. Like, it's the last kind of full thing we're doing, and it's, I guess that fits the
3
theme,
months late.
Yeah, it's all good. I guess also it fits winter, right? That's a good, it works for both.
Sure, I'm going to call Australix out and say, he started this fall series at the very end of fall. It was like the last week of October when he did this. So, he had to know that this was going to be misnamed as soon as we got into it.
Yeah, it also say that it took a lot of revisions to get the roots right and feeling good, so understandable, honestly. But, you know what, we're not going to complain. We got 4 maps, that's great. That's perfect.
Yeah. We have 4 maps. We have a lot of players who I think right now are probably watching the GPS. That's my hope. Black Pulse is showing that is the section where you'll want to be on your roof going over that slow-mo block and against the anti-booster. And then it is into this block. Honestly, what is this no-steer? It is the no-steer block then. Lining up for this turn on ice then with enough speed to get over onto the reset. Just about crawling onto it goes Black Pulse. And that's going to be a close run thing even in rounds. Keep an eye out. The red arrows are going to indicate the dangerous route on this map. The green arrows are going to indicate the slower, the safe way on every possible path that you can take.
Yeah, although safe way it is... Oh, just about. Still got a speed check. But no, it's fine. That's fine. But it's very dark, the safe route. Those are some dark tunnels. You don't know... well, I mean, we saw that from Black Pulse. You don't know how much speed you're going to need to get out of it.
Yeah, look, spooky little map. There's a wild jump. That's... Okay, this is he's gone all out. Australix says that is a weird ice bobsleigh loop that you have to flip into. It looks, just off first glance, consistent, which is really exciting. That looks really cool. I'm hoping that's consistent in rounds. This, I believe, is a water bounce. So if you are getting speed checked like Black Pulse is here, you are not making that. You will be forced onto the safe route. It's not going to be the slowest safe route. You can see here, it's relatively short compared to some of the other ones, but still, having the speed going into it going to be vital in late rounds.
Yeah, especially, I mean, yeah, it's not the longest safe route, but it definitely, you're going to be going through that with a lot of speed if you do get that water bounce, so it's going to save a lot of time either way.
This map is insane so far.
Yeah, this is wild.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this one plays out as we continue to uncover more tricks as Black Pulse gets deeper into this map, trying to keep the speed through that one. You want to get high enough to make it over this jump. You want to stay low enough that you do not bonk your head off that ceiling above. It's both a speed check and a precision check there, and those are definitely going to be difficult. It's then more of a speed check, seeing if you got the transition clean to try and keep your speed into that bobsleigh pipe and then turning around into that back pipe there. I mean, this is just going to be a knowledge check, I think, come round one as well, because you were saying it, like, a very long map to begin with, and you're seeing how long discovery runs are for a lot of these players. Like, we're 3 minutes in, we have 4 finishers so far. I mean, just learning the map before we get into rounds is going to be very difficult for some players.
Yeah, oh, there we go. There's the quick. I was going to say the quickest time was still over 2 minutes. We got down to a 1:46 discovery. So, yeah, things... Oh, and we're 5 minutes in already, so that's with resets and everything like that. So, yeah, this is not going to be an easy one because, you know, towards the end of the map, you're going to start forgetting what's going on because you haven't played it that many times. You haven't got through to the end more than like 3 times.
3 minutes since you were last there, exactly.
Hey, Yannick's gets over it correctly. That saves a lot of speed.
Oh, and look at this then. So you're up onto this. We've been told the trick is, and anyone who's watching who, you know, maybe playing right now as well, the trick is that you want to have a little bit of a brake tap as you're heading onto that ice section as well, as you're heading into the... heading into that no steer block. So that's going to be interesting, going to be hard to track, but I think we're going to see it just in terms of the speed players carry through, seeing the lines they get. If players get it wrong, it's going to be pretty obvious pretty quickly. God, that's such a cool trick. God,
that is so cool looking. Yannick gets it wrong the first time. Oh, hey, it gets that wall bounce. They'll get it in the end. They'll get it in the end.
I was never
to be fair, it's impressive how clean Yannick... Well, clean. Let's not use that word. It's impressive how much Yannick has absorbed in the first 5 minutes so far. Because the starter especially was looking pretty good.
Yeah, and this is one of those maps as well where we've talked already several times at length about how long the map is, right? One of the things we haven't talked about is this is a map as well with so many possible safe routes, which means there's a lot of decisions to be made. And because the map is so long, normally we see our top players get kind of the riskier paths down, and then they start to test the safe routes, start to test recovery strats towards the end of their time. It's going to be a lot harder to find the time to test recovery strats here in this map because you just have so much more time needed to devote to just learning the risky route.
Yeah. It's it's definitely going to be tough. We've got what are we down to? I think a 1:30 so far, which is pretty good. I mean, we were told that a good time would be about a 1:15. It seemed like the best time that the author had was a 1:11. So, you know, that's we're not too far off. You know, only about 20 seconds. We'll get there.
Yeah,
man,
we're gonna watch Australix run through here. This is what the GPS looks like for players who are choosing to learn it, and it's a clean GPS as well. Australix has not pulled any punches in giving the players, you know, a taste of exactly how fast you can play this map. That's an awkward bounce, but landing nicely into that quarter pipe jump anyway. There's a couple of jumps going up here. I mean, I still just love that jump so much. That is incredibly cool. This one, very slick. Then this jump coming up here, I believe, has... We've seen players struggling on this one, just maintaining the speed, and then that landing on ice into a low bobsleigh. Looks clean when you get it. I think in practice is very, very difficult.
I think you're coming into that jump off of a 90-degree turn as well, so you lose all of your speed, and then you have a speed check immediately afterwards. So the way you go into that turn is going to be so important. They're not finishing off classy with a little plastic bounce towards the end, and then a tiny little jump. Lovely.
Just a little jump, but still a speed check. You're still going to see people failing that. And that is one of those ones, I think, in particular, that very last trick, it's going to be deceptively difficult. Because we're going to see players come into it with nearly enough speed. They feel like they should be able to make it, and they're not quite going to be able to make it. And so we're going to see players respawn a couple of times, miss it a couple of times, realize they're about to get eliminated, panic, go for the safe route, get eliminated anyway. That's one of those spicy little finishes that I think we need to keep an eye on, because it is going to catch more people out than they realize.
I don't think that's enough. Oh, the angle wasn't quite right. That's the thing, right? Because there are so many safe routes. It's going to be all about decision making, especially in the earlier kind of mid-game rounds. It's going to be so important that you choose the safe route over going for the risky way like 3 times and trying to get that one, because you do get the risky one, you have more speed coming out of it, you know, you have a better route, but you go for the easy one every time. Obviously you're just losing time all around, and it, you know, you look cooler if you do the risky way.
You will look significantly cooler, and I mean, look, let's not mince words here, Twiggy. It's gonna lead to some really exciting rounds. It's going to be very exciting. Twiggy, it's going to make it so hard to follow what's going on.
Yeah, I'm already like I'm learning slowly, but there is so much going on. I mean, it may be a 1 minute 11 map, but it is a 1 minute 11 packed with tricks.
It's literally yeah, trick density. We really need to start like rating mini RPG of the week maps by that. Like, what's your trick per second?
Tricks per minute. Love that. Yeah.
It's high on this map, and I think it's you know, we've seen maybe higher depending on how you count a trick. Like, is every individual difficult transition a trick? If so, last week's map was tough and it had a very high trick per minute. But I think this map is exciting because Australix has packed so many high profile tricks into it as well, like really exciting ones. And for the most part, they all seem like, you know, skill checks a little bit, but also consistent, which is definitely not always the case when you go for something big and flashy.
Yeah, and I think a big thing as well that I like about this map is that it is easy to identify what part of the map you're on. I think that's a really important thing with RPG maps in general. Maybe a little less with mini RPGs, but knowing where you are at all times, because I've seen some mini RPG maps where everything looks the same, so it's so difficult to remember parts of this one. This one, it seems like I think I have a grasp of where we are at all times already, which is good. It's not just that the tricks are different, it's also that every part of the map looks different.
Yeah, and I mean, for us on the cast, as much as any of the players, given we're going to be jumping around between cars, very nice to be able to tell where you are on the map at a glance, because when you have to get your bearings quickly, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be exciting. I can already tell you, I think the part the players are going to complain about is potentially this water turnaround, because at times we're seeing some players end up in the wall on it. I do think there are ways to get it consistent. I'm not convinced that every player has fully figured them out just yet, and that's going to be something that I think some players are going to be a little bit nervous about and are going to feel maybe a little bit worse about than other tricks on the map.
Ice has put in a time of 1:17, it looks like, which is very impressive, if anything is to be believed about the best time you can get here. That's not too far off whatsoever, so I think that is the first properly clean run we've got, probably all of them risky routes, so we're getting there. 5 minutes left. There's still time to learn.
Yeah, I mean, Flamey still has a little bit of learning left to do, it looks like here, unfortunately for Flamey. But
I don't think that's the route. But
look, anything can be the route if you're brave enough and you manage to drive fast enough. He's found the route. I think that's the moment of discovery where you're like, holy shit, that's how the car goes. That's where I'm meant to be going. It's incredibly cool, and we will see how that goes. It is 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes left here in warm-up. Still that 1:17, approaching a 1:15, a very good time compared to the rest of the field. But, you know, Mapper, I was talking a little bit of smack before we got on broadcast, saying, you know, the Mappers tend to overestimate their own times, and the players come in and absolutely destroy the times the Mappers have set.
Yep.
Australix did a good job here telling us a 1:11 would be a very good time, because a 1:11 would be an insane time relative to the field right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some people still not figuring out, but maybe still not just looking at the GPS and not figuring out how to save time. That is a lot of time you lose for that slow motion. Obviously, you go over a slow-mo block, you're going to lose time no matter what, but considering it's such a short period of slow motion, that is a lot of time you lose on that first trick there.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Jam, because Jam, good player, currently sitting with the 6th best time on the server as well, right? I am wondering, is this Jam kind of like figuring out how much time you lose on some sections if you go the safe route, but also he's then just gone and is immediately taking, you know, the risky route on every other trick. So has Jam just decided that like the water bounce is too risky? Has he decided that this trick is too risky? Is this some players already deciding that there are parts of the map they don't need to even bother trying to engage with, and they'll just stay safe? Because staying safe in mini RPG up until the final rounds, that'll get you far.
Yeah, definitely. I think having a route that you know well is really important. Going for a risky route when you have only completed it once or twice is probably not a good idea. Yes, you want it to be able to get into the finals or whatever, but if you just want to get into the top 5, probably, you know, there's going to be some safe routes still in the top 5, I would assume.
Yeah,
because
and it's going to be Marius. Yeah. I mean, look, we can call it out now. I mean, Marius is called the Safe Meister for a reason, that it's because he drives very safely. And he has had some poor performances. I think he still is the most mini RPG wins on record, mini RPG of the week wins on record, which genuinely half the time has come from him just driving safer, more consistent lines than the rest of the field. So living proof that it works has joined us tonight. And I think we're going to see how true that does hold as we go on. And Marius also proved your point in a couple of weeks, as you were talking about, you know, taking a risky route that doesn't work, where he safed all the way up until the final round and then went for the risky route against the last player in and immediately crashed out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's the risk you got to take. If you know that they're going to put a better time in than you, if you know that they're consistent in that, you have to take them on with it. And that's just unfortunate. Ice here is resetting every time that he misses a risky, so it looks like we're going just for optimization now for Ice.
Yeah, understandable. 2 minutes left on the clock. It is really time for those optimizations, or if you're feeling confident, time to start figuring out those backup strats just in case. This is fast from Ice, though. He's definitely gotten the flow of the map down. Look, there's a couple of crashes. You're going to crash a little bit. Get them out in the warm-up. Make sure that there's none of them left in your blood when you get into these rounds, and we'll see how that goes for Ice. But he is definitely getting the flow of this map down and incredibly quick through it. We'll see. He is going for the roof landing now as well. How does he feel about this landing afterwards? It's a little bit awkward when you get stuck on your wheels, but with a steer in that water, it looks like even if your car starts to misalign a little bit, you can generally get back onto the straight and narrow as you head out of the water.
Yeah, it's consistently, at the very least, getting over it. I think it's definitely pretty precise the kind of angle that you want your car to be at, or at least how much on the roof you want it to be at, because obviously you've got to take into account what how long it'll take for your car to flip back over, but at the same time you don't want to be landing on your wheels on the slow motion.
No, you definitely don't. We'll jump on board with Marius for a very brief second and then leave him alone to watch Neko Jim just hanging out down here in the dark. And honestly, if I had to play this map, I think that's where I'd be as well.
Yeah,
just
scared
hanging
in
out
the corner.
Exactly. A little
rocking
bit
back and forth. That's me.
Probably watching the GPS, but it's much funnier to say that he's not. Just pretend he's just
terrified.
Just contemplating your own mortality. That's tough, and that again, that's I think. Look, get used to this site. It's going to happen a few times in rounds as well, as players just desperately try to get it. You can't get speed over that penalty grass. It's not going to work.
Definitely. But it's so important that you get that angle. I don't think it's really the speed that is the big part of that last jump. It is really the angle. You need to get all the way to the left, jump straight over like that. Yannick gets a good angle on it. A little slow, but...
Yeah, even catching those back wheels at the end. There's room for a snipe there if two cars are close together. At the same time, I don't see how two cars could be that close together at the end of this map. It's going to be a wild one. We're seeing some pluses in chat already. Players are happy with this one. No elimination in round one. 60 players on means that we will have 4 eliminations in round one. Driving into a wall on the first turn, it's a bold move, Twiggy. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, I think definitely, it's just putting everybody else off. They're thinking, this guy's already DNF, this guy's already 5 seconds back, we're fine. We've got this, get through the first round easy. They're going to come through with a 1:10. No contest whatsoever.
Yeah, hey, let's talk about the times while we're in this no elimination round as well, because Yannick's near the end of that, getting a 1:13, but there was a couple of late improvements. Lars, who's won the last 2 weeks of Mini RPG of the Week, may I add, with a 1:14 as well, looking like a strong contender again tonight. Neen and Neko Jim also getting some late improvements, but in general, there's still a big spread at the top of that leaderboard.
Yeah, we can see 3 or 4 kind of top leaders here. Marius is up there. Ice was up there until he bonked one of the checkpoints. Marius has got through very well, though. For somebody who wasn't in the top 3 to start off here. Oh dear, I've cursed him. Nico's been doing incredibly well, though, so... Oh, no! Oh, no! What have I done?
Oh, you keep their names out of your mouth.
No! Well, Marius is doing really well now. I don't think... No, Marius can't... He can't... He's got this one so many times.
There's no way he could fail again.
Oh! Okay, all good.
Style points at the end for Marius, at least. Hey, it's not a very fast time, but it is a 1:19. And if Marius can put those in consistently, that was a PB for Marius, by the way. Yeah. He could do very well today. I think that's fair to say. I expect Marius to do well. On a map like this, I do expect Marius to do well. I think his decision making is good. He does sometimes struggle on the pure pace compared to some of the other drivers here on shorter, flowier maps. But on a map like this, where consistency and decision making are going to be rewarded, I think this is a week we could see Marius do well in.
Yeah, we're going to get a good idea of how many people are going to be struggling to get in if another 119 is set very soon here, and I think that's quite a lot. I think the first round is going to be a little bit of a purge.
Yeah, so
probably.
Let's talk about it, Twiggy, okay? Because it is 4 eliminations, and I think you all know that I was putting quotation marks on that one in my room here.
4.
Yeah, I'm going to put a prediction on it. I'm going to say, with the timeout, we're going to get a full 13 eliminations.
13. Okay, I'm going to go... Oh, man, I'm going to play Price is Right with you and go 11. This one. Slightly below.
Slightly lower. That's fair. As I say, I think I've only gotten it perfectly on once. I have been one off so many times. I think that means it's going to be 12. But we'll see how it goes. We are into round 1 of week 38 of Mini RPG of the week, and we are seeing some struggle already from the players. Peridot can't get off the start line here. We'll clear it eventually, and we'll get to do a little bit more of the map. Nope. Not quite. We'll head a little bit further up the field and see how these players near the back are competing with it. Buster not even choosing to engage with that roof hit. Will just go across the water. It means he'll be clean into the next section and managing to hold on. At the moment, a lot of the field managing to get through this a little bit cleaner than maybe I was expecting. I thought we'd see a lot more players stuck on just the first couple of tricks.
Yeah, actually, there's only, 4 or so. 3 or 4 stuck on the first couple tricks, so we're all good here. It looks like a lot of safe routes are coming out. But the thing is now, is if you're this far back already, safe routes might still put you in the mud as we get further on. You know, that timer is going to come up on the right side of the screen shortly. It seems like Yannick's has got the hang of things. It seems like Marius had the hang of things. So I think we're gonna see that coming up very shortly. And yeah, I mean, you can see how far back people are stuck at this point. And even if you do take those safe routes, it's going to be pretty difficult to catch up with the board. There we go, 55 seconds left. How many people are not going to make it into round 3?
And so far, 1:19 time, pretty much the standard across our warm-up round and our first round here. So that seems to be the time that if you can start improving on it, that's going to leave you very, very safe in rounds. Tillmans is a little bit stuck in the middle of the map here, currently in 58. That means at least 5 players probably getting eliminated. Peridot has made it further into the map and may yet be safe. Was stuck for a very long time on the start line. Can he make the comeback happen? Can he get across that line in the end?
Well, oh no, I don't think that's happening anymore.
Look, that's on me. I'm so sorry.
The hope was there, and then you crushed it, and you know we're all here now. Just, I mean, look, so parts of the map are clean. What? Beautiful.
Could have made it.
Dear.
Is on nearly the last turn, but you know it's not the last turn. There are a few more between there. 40.
Oh no!
What a scam every week! I tell you. I
should have prices righted you the other way.
The other direction. Well, then you would have gone 15, and it would have fallen between us a little bit. It would have been tough, but. We're close. We're so close.
Surely that's going to be the last round where more than the amount that was supposed to be eliminated to get eliminated.
100%.
100%. No, that's not going to happen again. No way.
With that in mind, let's start round 2 and let's see how far these players do actually get. I mean, I say that a lot of the time. I'm like, yeah, round 2, we're still going to see more than 4 eliminations. And the players surprised me. They turned out to actually be able to drive their cars. And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm saying this. We're watching Horshme Veloce struggle a little bit on the start line. But you can see in front of it, already most players are getting over these first couple of tricks pretty cleanly already, even in just round 2. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, falls backwards. That's going to slow you down quite a bit. But hey, look, we're getting through it here. I mean, if 45th place is, you know, on checkpoint 3 already, I think we're looking pretty decent.
Yeah, cruising and climbing up the ranks pretty quickly. A few players going safe where there means New Knight is going to be cruising up into 41st. That's a big overtake, and I think there are going to be big swings for a long time. Yogg in the mud, low down, a fast player, 13th best time on the server at the moment, taking a safe way through the middle of the map. Should be catching back up, surely. This is still, though, going to be tough. Yogg still in 46. The field is moving away from him. See how much you can catch in the back half of the map. Oh, no.
And every time you make a mistake, you know, it just gets worse and worse because you have less speed for the next trick. You have to take the safe route again. And suddenly, you know, you were 30 seconds down. Now you're a minute down. It looks like, look, this is the route of a well-trained, all good.
Well-trained recovery driver,
yeah, perfect. There we go. Okay, no, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. You know, there's stumbling blocks. Stuff happens. Yeah, safe route. Ooh, there we go. Nice. I think that's just about as fast as a risky. You don't have enough speed to get over the gap, but yeah.
Yeah, it lines you up a lot worse for the turn directly afterwards, as we saw from Yogg just there, but still enough speed for this jump afterwards. He is still in, well, 44th place. He's managed to overtake Azirus. Potentially the Yogg will climb to 43rd. Heading towards this finish line, needs to try and hit it. Potentially first time. Ernie Ball is a little bit further down the field, and we'll see how the finishes actually shake out. I think we have as many players over the line as we're going to get. There is maybe one spot up for grabs. No, I think Ernie Ball is out, as Jam will cross the line in front, and it is just 4 players eliminated. Jam by the skin of their teeth there, it does have to be said.
Yeah, that was a close one, absolutely. Ernie Ball almost catching up, but hey, look, we've equalized now. We're back to, you know,
stability.
Back to normal. Yeah, everybody now. It's all going to be down to how quickly you finish, and that's the difficult part for everyone, is when suddenly it's not just you have to finish the map, suddenly it's now you have to finish ahead of 4 people.
Yeah, I do want to point out that I almost missed it. Jam nearly lost to the timer on that last round.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
he had about 5/10 left there. But he did make it over the line, and will survive in the competition for the moment, and will continue to race on. Jules, on the other hand, may not be so lucky in this round. Is a long way down the field and is going to slide out on that turn, but you can see how many people are respawning on that checkpoint alone.
Yeah, it's so difficult, I think, to get that angle, because you're going straight into ice. Suddenly you can't really steer any further, so you have to get the angle in the half a second that you're on the grass. So, unfortunately, that's safe route is even risky, looks like.
Yeah. Look, this is things we don't love to see. Irish car at the back, just vibing on the safe route. But look, I have faith in Fasty, right? Like, Jules is going to crash again. And I'm sure plenty of other people are going to crash in front as well. And Fasty will be safe in this round. And if I keep saying it, if I make it canon in my own head, then it'll be fine.
Look, it's only 9 seconds down on 40th. That's doable. Absolutely.
Genuinely it is the problem now.
That is actually true. It is definitely possible. But, okay, now, here we go. Jules falls back down the pack, and suddenly I think it might actually be very possible for Fasty to catch up. Oh, never mind, they're back.
Okay, we're all back, and we're going to see how things go here. I do like that. This is such a simple, safe way versus risky way on that jump. I don't think we've actually called it out yet, but just having the speed to get over there versus having to do a quarter pipe, which is obviously much slower. I really like it. It's really simple, but really effective as a safe route versus risky.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks incredibly clean when you do pull it off, because it's so much quicker and it's so much smoother all the way around. Or just a couple... I mean, he's already out, but can I get there before the time is done? Hey!
Pride.
At least there's some pride in that, you know?
And climbed a place. Fasty, unfortunately, didn't. Very tough. Will go down in 44th place, and we'll continue on. Down to 40 players now as we head towards nearly half the field eliminated. That'll be when we get to about 31, because, you know, I can do maths. I can divide by 2. I'm pretty good at it.
Good. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm glad they... I shouldn't make a joke about...
I was going to say, education system.
Glad they have it. Hey. Don't worry, ours is just as bad.
They're all look, let's again we're gonna stay hard right out of this conversation. Okay, just turn away from it as quickly as we can. Let's talk about some of these players who are turning themselves into the main characters of tonight's competition. We've seen a lot of Jules, and he's back for more in this danger zone.
Oh yes, Mr. Rick looking for a way back in. Everybody is I think definitely we've found our pack. It looks like there's definitely a group of people that seem to get the route right every time, maybe taking a couple safes, but definitely not making any massive mistakes, no big bonks or anything like that. And then you've got everyone else back here. And hey, look, it's not a bad thing to be back. You've already done well enough getting through the past 2 rounds, but yeah, at this point you do have to be not making mistakes, I think.
Yeah, or at least making fewer than everyone else, because that is no mistakes going to be a very tough ask, I think, up until we get to probably our top 5 is when I'm going to call mistakeless round, and even then, no guarantee. But we'll see how it goes. As you said, that top 5, kind of our top pack are getting much more consistent at the moment. as that looks like a 1:15 potentially. It was a 1:15 in this round, and the top times definitely getting a lot faster, but at the back it is still a struggle for life and death, and Jules looking to stay in one more round. A bonk on a pole, losing a lot of speed as Binkin is just in front of El Jojo, and it looks like there's a spot for grabs, and it's El Jojo sniping Brinken on the line. An awkward bounce at the very end, and now again, just for pride, get across that line, and we've seen that last jump cost someone already.
That's great. Everyone got through at least. That's got to be heartbreaking though. Aljo does so well to get through there. But now we've got a 1:50, and that is pretty amazing, because that is now what has been given as by Australics the good time. That is good now. That's our gold. That's our gold medal, basically.
Back it up, everyone. Good job. We are achieving adequacy.
we did well enough. Gold star.
Hey, look, if you're gonna aim for something, aim for well enough. You know, I mean, that's it's a decent place to be. Right here at the back, this is less of a decent place to be, but already Dennis is catching all the way back up. Yogg down near the bottom again has definitely been the player with, I think, good times, who has been struggling a little bit more than some of the other top times, has been finding himself down here. Lack of consistency, maybe an issue at the moment. That's just a wall. That's not a lack of consistency by NTY, that was just a wall. You
don't quite need to go that wide to make the jump. Maybe a little bit wider could do you some good though, unfortunately. But hey, look, it's a learning process. As long as you don't get knocked out this round, you have another chance, so that's fine. Just don't get knocked out just don't get knocked out.
Just don't get knocked out.
I don't know how, you know, like 28 people have not heeded that advice so far, but hey, here we are.
Yep, exciting. Zemus down in these bottom parts. That's a very fast driver to be down this low, and Skinny was here as well. Zemus might just be out, having made a big mistake in the middle of the track there. This now gets exciting. Jam is back here again as well. I think we're going to lose at least one or two big names in this round, as things are just getting spicy. Yogg still taking a safe right through this section, and you can see forced to compromise the line a little bit there, but able to turn it back around, keeping the car on the road, all that is wanted right now. Dennis still on the chase. Zemus, the other player from the Netherlands, right behind him. Refact is under an awful lot of threat right now from a lot of very, very good players, and you can see Dennis with an overtake in the middle of the track there. We're heading towards the finish line now. Refact is heading up, trying to catch Dennis. I'm not sure if there's space left, as Dennis will sneak in. Refact will be knocked out. Jam gone. Zemus gone.
So many people just falling a little bit at the last hurdle. It's always so heartbreaking.
Look, we sound so smart though. Twiggy, we were like, look at how difficult. Look, it's only a little bonk, but it's going to be real tough, and it's going to lead to some snipes.
Told you that angle was important. There you go.
Yeah, there you see it. I mean, unfortunately for Zemus, it was not quite that. As someone has pointed out in the lobby chat there, all of the Netherlands were nearly in the mud right there. Some of Germany might be in the mud right now, as Looker's turbo near the back of the field and with a lot of catch-up to play. Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, at the start of the map, you've got a lot of places to catch up on. People are going to make mistakes in front of you. Already made one overtake. This is a pretty decent angle. Could make a couple more here. Yeah, a lot of bonks on the wall, and Knuckles Turbo goes straight out of that relegation zone.
I thought I saw Yannick's there for a second. I was like, what? But no, I think he's in front. He's just in front. He's not far in front, but he is in front right now. We've seen Yannick's have some dodgy rounds in the middle of the competition before, but he tends to manage to hold on in those ones, clean it up towards the end as well. We'll see how that goes. Right now, Manchmoilabole is near the back, and Lars also down here as well. That could be the big name that we're looking to lose this round. You can see how much pace he had in the middle of the track there.
Yeah. This is definitely pace enough to catch up if he keeps that speed up. But as you said, Germany might be a little bit in the mud as well. But I mean, he's flying through it. I don't think he's going to be in much danger whatsoever. Mr. Rick, however, not doing so well for himself. Neko Jim just needs to make up one more place here. Gust has more speed than Valeur de Porc, but I don't know if they're going to be able to keep that one up. That turn wasn't as perfect as it could be. A lot of people taking the risky route here. Maybe, it's going to come down to just tenths of seconds here at the end. There's so many people going to cross the line at the same time. Like a Subber goes for the risk. He just about makes it. Jumps up and just makes it in. Oh, man. Alex doesn't get through Valeur de Porc. Mr. Rick, Manchmoilabole. Oh, dear.
That was
in the mud.
Messy. But yeah, I mean, hey, I guess it's over now, and so we'll move on to the next round, and those who lost will be forgotten. Alex dropping out in 29th. That's pretty rough for them, but definitely that finish, there was about 10 cars converging on it in those last couple of seconds, and that is fun to see at any point, especially on a map this long. The fact that so many players are still so close together at the end, it's just it's awesome.
Yeah. Luckily, no matter how many French players we lose, we'll still have about 50 of them in the lobby. So it's all good. We've still got red, white, and blue surging through the course right now. Although, oh, maybe not. I saw a lot of French players bonk there, so maybe not.
Well, for the Netherlands, Dennis still trying to get it done, and still players taking this safe route in the middle of the track. Literally all the slowdown does come from this turn around here, but if you can keep your car pretty fast around it, Yog showing that you can keep speed up, is going to still be safe in 22nd place. Ice, meanwhile, a long way down the field, currently sitting in the hot seat, currently sitting in 25th place and trying to catch up. You have to feel that Ice, of all players, probably going to be able to catch some people on the way up the field as well. Black Pulse is going to catch at least 2 there, and maybe 3, including Ice. He's clean through the middle.
Yeah, I definitely saw Spammy and Lars going down as well there. Spammy currently in that bottom 4. Oh man, it's going to be difficult now. We're starting to lose big names all over the place, everywhere.
Yeah. We do have to highlight that Spammy Jr. is still Anix, because, yeah.
That makes sense now.
Anix refuses to play under his own name.
That's brilliant. But honestly, great. Love that.
Yeah, we love that for Anix, and we love that, well, we don't love that he was maybe in danger of being eliminated, because, again, very good player. Mean down in the bottom, Links down in the bottom, and again, a lot of players who have times near the top divides tried to get over, is potentially not going to make it, will sneak up into 22nd. It's El Jojo still in 23rd, and I believe that means Mean eliminated in 25th. With a time of 1:16 on the leaderboard, couldn't replicate it in rounds, couldn't do it under pressure, and will drop out here outside the top 20.
Yeah, a couple of people just not being able to have the speed for that last one. Lynx and Hostel had to reset that last checkpoint maybe 4 or 5 times, and that just throws you right down into the bottom of the leaderboard. But that one also just came down to the last few seconds.
I do appreciate Rhetoric, the player who came 24th, asking, what did I just do? Oh, no. But hey, what you did was knock out Mean. Pretty good. That's pretty strong.
I'll take it.
The field continues to disappear, but still, I think the quality just keeps improving. There are a lot of very good players left near the top here. Some players holding on by the skin of their teeth. El Jojo, still in the competition, has been very, very near to that elimination zone a few times now, but has managed to hold on. We'll see who holds on this round, as it is getting messy already on that water.
Well, Nico spins out on that quarter pipe there. Just means that you're even slow for this next one. You'll probably have to take that safe route, which, as we've established, is pretty tough. You've got to, it's a very thin ladder with a 90-degree turn. You're going to lose a lot of time throughout there, and now the wicked trick. Everybody seems to have this one down at the very least. Everybody seems to have half of the risky routes down at this point, at least, which is great. We love that for them. Still room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, and we do love when they don't have it quite down as well. They go crashing out. It's very exciting, Love that for us more than for them. But we'll see how that goes. Rhetoric managing to hold on, again, by the skin of his teeth in the last round. He was so close to being eliminated. He's back in this red zone. It's flashing lights all around for him, but he's managing to keep up. He is just behind Yog, who is in turn just behind Black Pulse as well. And at the back half of this track, there's still room for mistakes. That's a mistake from Rhetoric, though. That could cost them heading into the last couple of turns, and it is now definitely the last couple of turns. Forced to risk, will make it anyway heading into this turnaround. Yog still in front, no mistakes just yet. Bounce Up is going to lose a lot of speed, relying on someone to fail the finish. You can see Mountain going a long way around, and I think everyone's made it, and Rhetoric won't. Yog was eliminated in front anyway. It wouldn't quite have mattered, but still, it's a little bit of it's painful on your last jump of the round.
Yeah, that's very painful. I mean, at the very least, there was still some hope there, and you just saw the moment it left Rhetoric there. That's so sad. Everyone makes it through at the very least.
Yep, everyone will make it across the line. El Jojo finally getting knocked out. The Cinderella story has to come to an end, and I guess Midnight finally struck on that one. A 24th place, though, not bad at all. Meanwhile, Skinny and Yogg also will both drop. Skinny, again, 11th time in the server, a 117. It is a very difficult map to replicate those times on round.
Yeah, I think a lot of the people with those higher times are going to be people that have gone for a risky route all the time, but don't quite have the consistency down on that risky finish. And it's a thing you see all the time, is that people who do take the quicker times get knocked out a lot earlier on. Even if they are quicker, maybe they are just not quite as consistent with their route.
Guess who I just saw crashing out near the back of the pack.
I did notice that.
Yeah. I don't know how. Yannick's did crash out. He still managed to stay out of the bottom four. Daidai, meanwhile, will be in that bottom four and is currently trying to catch back up. That was a big slowdown, and that's a little bit awkward. The jump will still work, though, and will manage to hold onto it, getting across that line. A long way down the field, though. That respawn costing them a lot.
Yeah, it was just a tiny bit of a speed check right there that forced him onto an edge, flipped over the car, can't do anything, it's slow, you're not going to get over the checkpoint, and you got to figure out which is the best route to go through, taking the slow-mo, but you do get a nice little exit through the safe route there, so maybe with a little extra speed can catch up to the rest of the pack, gets back out of that red zone as he crosses this next checkpoint. Good jump around this next corner. Can he take the risky through here? Going to take the safe all the way around that quarter pipe. Will that lose him a place? Doesn't look like it. Oh dear, no. That's not great. That's not great. But there's so many people down here. Spammy also, not Spammy, but at the back.
Close enough.
Close enough. No!
Oh, it's all gone horribly wrong. Look, I think all the places have been taken anyway, right? Like, I'm not sure it would have mattered, but it might have, and Pun will crash one more time. Die the second time of asking across the line. Spammy Jr., Anix was in 16th, only just got across the line. Once again, it was a flock of cars descending on that line in a flurry. It's still tense. Lars in 15th. Anix in 16th. That's Lars with the second best time on the server. Anix doesn't have a time in the top 15. No, he must have a time in the top 15. I just can't see the scoreboard at the moment. Very good players, though. Very, very close to elimination. And we're edging closer to our top 10. We're down now to just 2 eliminations around. It's going to get rough from here on out.
Oh, Dennis's wheels just touched that slow-mo. That's heartbreaking because you got the trick right. You're just not, you know, degrees of an angle off.
Very close. Very close indeed. Well, here is the pride of Britain. Jaffa Padawan fighting to get back in as well. I say that. Look, it is a little bit of a rematch of match 2 from today's Cup of the Day in here. I believe Yannick's, I believe Jaffa Padawan, Lookers Turbo, we're all in that. And right now, all fighting to see who can come out on top on this one. And Jaffa Padawan is trying to make the fight back. So is Ice. That is Omum not moving in the middle of the track. Yes. That tends to be quite slow from what I've heard, so it is going to be now a chance for Ice to catch back up as well. Jack Padawan will be ahead at this next checkpoint. Ice a long way down the field though.
Oh no, he just doesn't have enough speed to take that risky. I don't know what the thought process was there, because I don't think there was any chance, no matter how quickly you made it around that corner, that you were going to have just enough here. But Ice is also all the way back. Maybe Umum can use this last bit of the track to catch up. Jaffa Padawan doing well enough, taking a safe route. Is the bounce good? The bounce is good. Just has one more trick left to complete.
Just one more trick.
Is full second ahead. Oh no, trick. Just one more trick.
Just one more trick.
Umum takes it. Oh no. I'm so sorry, Jeff.
It's just one more trick, and yet Mum will make it through, and Jaffa Padawan will drop out. And meanwhile, spring has come, the ice has melted, it has turned into mud. Ice will drop out in 15th place, and that is a brutal first round of 2 elimination.
Oh, it doesn't get any closer than that. That's just... Again, I'm so sorry, Jaffa. I didn't mean to curse you or anything like that, but there you go. Things happen. And honestly, if you were going a little bit faster, you would have made it. Just don't crash. Just I don't know how many times I have to say it.
If you had simply been further up the field, that wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, true.
just good advice all around. Just very straightforward. Don't crash. Jitski has crashed a couple of times so far and is trying to catch back up. Vevolution in front as well. And who's up in front of them? It's Anix again. Has been struggling a bit. That's such a different line from Jitski is what I'm going to call it compared to what we've been seeing from a lot of the other players. It has worked out. And Jitski very low on this jump as well. Is going to make an overtake happen. And Jitski unusual through these corners, but managing to keep it up.
Yeah, I think I had to take a respawn there coming out on an awkward angle. Oh my god, Evolution just about gets through. That was... I could see the car going 50 directions in that one, but luckily it doesn't happen. Mom again, all the way down in the red zone currently, but it's just a matter of tenths to get back up here. I think risky routes are going to be important to take. Neither Jitski or Mom are able to make it over the barrier there, but they're going to have to keep going full speed. Both take the risky route. I'm a little bit higher. Still behind, but again, it could all go wrong here for Jitski. Gets over, no problem whatsoever, no drama. It's all good.
No, none. It's some drama.
Oh, apart from Dennis.
Some drama. Like a little bit of drama.
Did Dennis even take the what happened there?
I don't know. I
didn't
genuinely
see him taking
don't.
the risky.
I think Dennis, he got scammed by the finish twice. So a long way up the field, went for it once, respawned behind the players we were focusing on, so we never even saw him, and then got overtaken on the finish line. Netherlands gone. It was a long time before Dennis, it has to be said. And just outside the top 10 is nothing to sniff at here tonight, because this has been a very, very difficult map indeed. Right now, we're fighting for that top 10 position. That means, as always, a spot on the Wikipedia page. Exciting times all around. And it's going to be a tough round. Honestly, you have to root for Omom at this point.
Yeah, the amount of times you've been one place from elimination, that's the kind of thing at this point that could ruin it for you. Yeah. Absolutely ruin it. Luckily, Nico took about 10 seconds to get started, so you're not right at the bottom. But here we are. Lo needs to make up a little bit more time, and a lot of people have been not quite getting this next trick, which is interesting considering I don't think we've seen anybody fail this one for quite a while, and now 4 people have?
Yeah, we thought it was safe. We thought that was one of the safer tricks. Despite being exciting and flashy, we thought it was safe. It didn't seem to be safe on this round. Right now, Omom is definitely not safe. Is trying to make the fight back happen. Is going to be quick through there and has Nico in their sights. Unfortunately, Nico is also in the elimination zone, and so this is not the most important overtake on track. But the two of them having a fierce battle with Divided in front as well. Now, all of a sudden, that battle becomes a lot more relevant. Flo also crashing out as well, so Nico and Omom, they might both be safe. Flo has the speed to get up. Neko Jim took the safe route on that turn as well. Now he's in the danger zone too. It is once again a drag race. The line. Nico crashed in front. Both of them should be true, and Nico gets knocked out by the last jump. Flo will cross the line in 11th place, and the last jump claims another victim.
It's such a good recovery from Nico, considering he didn't get to the first... He got to the first checkpoint about 5 seconds after everybody else on the server. Yep. In the meantime, though, Lars has set a 1 minute 11.
Say, like, Spammy improved to an insane 113.0. Yeah. And unfortunately still lost the round by 2 seconds because Lars set a 111.
Yeah.
Lars could make it 3 in a row here. Lars looks potentially set to make it 3 in a row. Divided, it's rough. Jitski has been holding on, has made it to the top 10, so very exciting. Marius, not a player we've talked about in a long time because he's been doing Marius things and just kind of keeping it clean into the top 10. Maybe starting to hit the limit of how far that kind of level of pace can take him, as he is now down near the danger zone. But also he's Marius until he's going to safe to the end of this round and be totally fine.
And Lars has dropped down into the red as well. Obviously, going that quick is quite risky. Now going to have to make up a lot of places. It's clean so far through this. Next part takes over. Mom.
Forced to take the slow as well. Yep. Lars straight back. Very safe all of a sudden. Marius, on the other hand, now going to be at a little bit of risk. It's hard to tell exactly who is in these elimination zones. It's still Divided and Jitski. They're not that far behind Marius, though, and the fact he was so slow through that section means they'll be gaining, and Montaigne in front will also be bouncing around the track a little bit. Jitski closing in. Cars in front in his sights. They are catchable, but only with a mistake. Once again, on this last jump. Eyes on those two cars in front. Has anyone bounced off? It doesn't look like it. It looks like everyone across the line for the first time time in a very long time. It was clean, and Divided's instead will be the last car on track. Will make it across, but it's Jitski and Divided to get knocked out in 9th and 10th.
Oh, at least I got the Liquipedia page. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Huge.
That's fine.
Huge finish. That's all you want on this one. I mean, hey, the win would be pretty nice. And I think any of the players left in at this point can probably... they should feel like they're in with a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Even
Everybody's
Omom.
put in a good time.
I mean,
Even Omom. I don't know. Maybe... look, the script has been written. Omom has avoided death an insane amount of times at this point. I don't know how it's possible that they could go out. Oh, no. Maybe with a slow-mo.
Well,
that's not a good start.
Yeah, slow-mo and awkward bounce into the wall and then into the checkpoint. I mean, Anix is just choosing to crash directly into signs, so maybe that'll help a little bit. But given they are currently the bottom two, it is not looking great because those top 6, they are quick at the moment. They're making less mistakes and they are racing away down this track.
Yeah, I think the only 2 that we've actually seen make mistakes in the middle part of the map are Mountain and Marius, who are right in front of them, to be fair. Still definitely possible, but people are getting cleaner and cleaner at this one as we go on. Marius and Mountain both get up through this next part quite easily. They both take the risky route, and that means Mom falls even further behind because they both get it completely perfectly. Now has to make up a lot more time. Everybody seems to be going for this risky route, especially in that top 6. It just means, Mountain making a mistake, but Mom has also respawned. It's just so much to overtake at this point. I think Mountain is pretty much safe unless he does not get this last jump. So again, it's going to come down to this one. I don't know.
And right now it is Anix who's in the position to catch it as well, which I think won't happen. It'll be Anix with a DNF. It'll be Omom dropping out in a very, very strong 7th place, managing to avoid elimination for an awfully long time. But it is our top 6 of Yannick, Lars, Neko Jim, Lookers, Turbo, Marius, and Mountain. Mountain? I don't know. I feel like I've said it something different every single time. And as we all know, Twiggy, that never annoys players.
No, not at all. Absolutely not. It maybe does not help that then they just spam letters into a keyboard and then expect us to get the pronunciation right. But hey, I'm not going to know that.
I reiterate my campaign to force all players to learn the International Phonetic Alphabet and give their names in that, so that all cats... We would also have to learn it then, and that is a level of commitment I'm not sure I'm prepared for, but you know.
I think I know most of it. Well, we'll see. Oh, Mountain. He did say he was out this round, and it doesn't look too perfect for them. Marius also bonks, has to turn all the way around, so there is definitely a chance to catch back up. It looks like Yannick didn't quite make that jump either, but Mountain has taken a few different attempts to get over this first trick, and it does mean that now about 10 seconds behind the rest of the pack.
And with only a single elimination this round as well, I struggle to see any of this top 5 making enough mistakes to let Mountain back into this one. It's going to be, I think, pretty safe cruise to the finish. These are all experienced players as well. They're players who will know, for the most part, that they can play a little bit safer, that they don't need to risk, that all they need to do is just keep this lead open. Yeah,
you can see Lars just taking it slow over that little staircase area. Gets all the way through that. It's so clean up to this point now for the top 5. It looks like most of them not making mistakes, just tactically slowing down a little bit sometimes. That was definitely a tactical slowdown from Yannick. Completely ignore what I said earlier. Now everybody just has to cross the finish line, and we all know that that's really easy. So Yannick, let's just get that one done for the camera.
Slow.
Oh boy,
that's
not great. That's not great. Luckily, Mountain is about 15 seconds back. You just take the safe route. You've got that.
Just take the safe route.
Okay. Has to prove that you can do it, I guess. Has to prove it.
Make it exciting for his audience over there who are watching him in this competition as well. It's, you know, fair enough, I guess. Mountain will, for pride, make it across first time. If it'd been a little bit closer, could have caught up to Yannick. But that does mean our top 5 locked in. Lookers Turbo with a very strong week so far. Neko Jim also in rarefied air, but the other 3 players joining him up there, I think no real surprises. Marius, Lars, and Yannick. 3 excellent players, 3 excellent mini RPG players. I think those 3 for me right now, probably the 3 to beat.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a lot tighter through the rest of this one now. We've seen these players make mistakes, but generally they all finish in the same kind of pack. Lucas Turbo is going to start off, however, with a pretty avoidable error. Oh, and hit. Oh, my. Come on. Come on, Nadeo. He was on his roof. What is going on there?
Scam.
That is a scam. That's a scam. You know what? You get a free pass for this one, Luckers. You might go out, but we can say with certainty that you should be with the rest of the pack right now. That's fine. Don't worry about it, buddy.
He might... Ooh, Neko Jim looked like he was going to crash into... I was going to say he might yet catch up to Neko Jim, but then Neko Jim didn't crash, and so what I'm doing now is over-explaining an aborted sentence that I started.
Okay, that's great. No, that works.
For sure.
Awesome. Neko Jim seems to be pretty clean through here. Lucas is going to have to pull out either some heroics, or somebody else is going to have to pull out their PayPal to get through to the rest of this one. Neko doesn't seem to be making any mistakes. I think you can tell now. Most of these players are pretty unshakable. If they make a mistake, they're right back at it. Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. A little bit too much speed. It's all good. It's fine. Fine. Professional.
Fine. Yeah. And in general, we're seeing this quarter pipe safe route not being taken almost at all. Even when players have awkward turns through that previously, they know the jump, they need to get it. Marius, he's going for the safe finish. Look, what did we say? He's going to take the safe finish. One thing about Marius, he's going to take the safe finish. Neko Jim, you have one more chance at this. You have one more chance. If you miss this, you are in a lot of trouble. He will make it across just about. Lucker's Turbo was there to pounce if Neko Jim did not, but Lucker's Turbo will drop in a very strong 5th place, leaving us with only 4 cars left on the field.
Yeah. I mean, that was way too punishing. I do agree that you got punished quite hard there. Like, you have to give that one to him. That was pretty punishing. But oh well, top 4 now, and this is where pretty much any mistake is going to get you completely in the mud here. It seems like the top 3 every round have been finishing pretty much unscathed at this point.
Yeah, and it is everyone pretty cleanly through the water. Neko Jim will be near the back of the pack, but look, we'll see. They're all pretty quick now around this turn. Neko Jim will just about scrape around that corner and will continue on, but he is losing touch with the front 3 at the moment. The front 3 that I did say I do think are our 3 to beat at the moment. Keep in mind, Marius, I think with 90% certainty, will be taking the safe finish here almost no matter what. So there could be a chance at the very end, if you're within touching distance, for Neko Jim to snipe this away.
That would be beautiful script writing, and I would love that in every way. Oh, it's a bit of an awkward landing. It's going to lose another few tenths coming through on this one. But it's all up to, yeah, as you say, if Marius is going to take that safe finish, we do have an extra few seconds to be able to make up if you're confident enough with that last jump. I don't think I've seen Neko Jim fail the last jump too many times. There was that one time, obviously, last round, but we'll see.
Clean. Safe Marius risks it, and he will make it across. Fair enough. Look, he can do it when it's asked of him. Neko Jim will do it first time of asking as well, but it will be Neko Jim to drop out in 4th place. It will be a top 3 to watch. It's Lars, it's Yannick's, it's Marius. I mean, Marius right now, he looks to be lacking the pace, and there is no shame in that compared to Lars and Yannick's. But with those two pushing each other with a mistake possible anywhere on this track, it could be any combination for our top 2.
First trick, I'm assuming everybody is going to do perfectly, guys. You're all going to do it perfectly. Obviously, we've seen, even if you do it almost perfectly, you can still get that slow-mo. Everybody gets through. Yannick's a bit of an awkward bounce. He's going to have to make up some time through here, but luckily he is one of the faster players out of these guys. Marius is a little bit slower so far. Hasn't set a PB within, well, 4 seconds of these two at the moment. So if Yannick keeps up the speed, could get back up there.
Yeah, Yannick could definitely still catch Marius on this map, but these players, one thing about them, they are all very, very clean at this point, so it is going to come down to pure pace, and it's going to come down to Yannick having to push it. Pushing it on this map is going to mean risk, and risk means potential failure, but Yannick, he pushes it, and he pushes into 2nd place.
Marius now has to make up time, and as we know, Marius has been going for safer plays, has been going for slower ways around different things, but Lars makes a mistake. Now suddenly, Lars is in the back. He's one of the quicker players. He might be able to get through on this one. It doesn't seem like he's been failing the end so far. He's right behind Marius. This could all come down to an awkward bounce in the end. Marius gets over there, takes an awkward bounce, but so does Lars, and he's behind by just 3 tenths. Well, 2.5 tenths even.
That's some round. 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths, whatever it ended up being. Lars will just get pipped to the post by Marius, and it will be a finals between Yannick's, between Marius, 2 veterans of the Trackmania scene, and they will duel it out on what has been an incredible map, an incredible night here, given to us by Australix.
Starting off fully clean, as usual. No slowdowns for either player, but Yannick again gets a little bit of an awkward bounce. This time it's not so detrimental as last round, but takes a higher route on that quarter pipe. A little less speed through this one. So far, I mean, this part of the map everybody has down. It's towards the end that we're going to see some mistakes happen. We're going to see a little bit of, well, it coming more into play if you don't get the right angle, if you don't get the right exit off of a corner.
Yeah, that was so clean by Marius. It's a mistake by Yannick. He clips a corner, and now we'll ride on board with Marius for most of the rest of this round because it will come down to him keeping it clean. And if there's one player you want to bet on keeping it clean, it's got to be Marius. Yannick's DNFs. He does not think that Marius has it in him to make a mistake from here. It is a cruise to the finish line. It is victory lap for Marius. And honestly, I'm just hoping he takes the safe route to the finish.
Take
because
the
that
safe
would
route.
Do it, Marius.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Let's go. Marius sets a PB to finish things off. That could not be a better victory lap if he tried. It's perfect. And honestly, from a player that was nowhere near the bottom, nowhere near the top throughout the whole thing, nowhere near the bottom either, that's exactly how you want to get it done.
Yeah, it would have been a difficult round anyway for Yannick, with Marius setting a PB, going for the 1:12.8. It was a fast time nonetheless, and you could see it. Yannick was under pressure. He was a little bit slower. That first water bounce did kind of leave him in a tough position, and from there, trying to push, trying to catch up to Marius. Just a tiny mistake. That's all it took. A little clip on the back wheel. Car goes flying, and Marius cruises to a finish line. Well deserved, as you said. Absolutely well deserved by Marius, and great style to do it in, leaving no doubts in the final.
Yeah, I think pretty much perfect. And honestly, by the end, only about 1 second off of the record there from, I think it was Lars who held the record of 1:11.2 or something like that in the end. So absolutely not a bad performance by any measure of any metric even. So perfect from Marius. Takes away the victory, gets that top spot, gets the gold medal. I think, actually no. Well, I guess if we're going by author medals, doesn't get the author medal, but still, gets a gold medal in the tournament, and that's what matters.
Yeah, gets a gold medal here, will take the W, and that's going to be it for this week of Mini RPG of the Week. Week 38, done and dusted. Twiggy, thank you very much for joining me here tonight.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we'll have to. We will bully you back into it at some point in the near future. I have absolutely no doubt on that one. In the meantime, jump over to the Discord if everyone is not a member there already. And if you have any maps or you're interested in building a map for Mini RPG of the Week, get in contact with our admin Zetarate. Would love to hear from you. You'll be hard pressed to match tonight's map, but we'd love to see your efforts at it. And we will see you back here next week for edition 39 of Mini RPG of the Week.
Love me, cause I don't think it loves me anymore. Maybe I think too much, so I drink to rush all my demons out the door. Tell me that it's all inside my head. Call it OCD, tell me it's you, not me, cause it's driving me mad. I don't think I'm losing my mind, building all these walls over time. Every time I lose my way, I find you. I know that when fears start to hit me, know that you're the one to lift me. I find you, yeah, I find you. And pride, my insecurities haunting my memories, cause I'm holding them inside.